I'm your host of Everything Rusty in the Rust Belt, capital of the world here, near the world's biggest Democrat-run shithole, Hazleton, PA, which I don't live in. I live in the suburbs. I'm losing my voice. We have a gorgeous afternoon going here, and I mean gorgeous. A nice breeze, but it might interfere with the camera mic. What I do want to show you is some of this carnage on these Silverados. It's why a lot of them are in the junkyard. The bodies don't look too bad. But this is what happens is, this is the replacement piece, which I'm going to go over with you. Then we have a hole in we're getting holes around these gussets. So I'm going to end up having to fabricate and make my own gussets. And I do have steel that I bought for that. Unfortunately, it's going to take a long while. I did get the fuel tank out. And the main problem with getting this inspected, they probably would have forgave some of that on the frame, which those gussets are not really necessarily a structural piece, but idiots that inspect these cars at a garage, they don't realize that. They just see a hole. And one of the con jobs that's going on with these garages, Pennsylvania State Inspection. I wanted to cover two things: insurance work. We're having a lot of trouble with agencies, Progressive, Erie. Allstate is one of the main culprits. You turn in a claim, you take pictures, and you call back and say, what's going on with the claim? The car's going to be done. And they'd say, we didn't get the pictures. Upload the pictures. Well, I've done it 2 or 3 times. As a matter of fact, there was a body shop that we took a relative's car to, which was at Nissan. And the guy subjectively gave the insurance company everything they wanted twice. And then I called up, thought the car was done. And I say to the guy, what's going on with this car? It's not, you didn't touch it. He says the insurance company's not cooperating. He said, I gave them what they needed. Well, this is the reason why where places like I work, the one shop closed up, the guy sold out. They're getting out of the business because the insurance companies are starting to flim-flam people. And they're doing it through an indirect negligence. Now they're saying they don't have adjusters that go out anymore. So they're handling it all by internet agencies. And they're hiring these incompetent people, which I think is being done on purpose, so they don't have to honor the claim. I got news for you, Allstate. I'm going to the magistrate with my bill. And no, small guys like me, we're not itemizing a bill. Even if you're a customer here, I don't need your business then if you need something that asinine. Okay? I go over my receipts, but a lot of times there's other stuff for other jobs. I'm not just doing your job, and I'm doing stuff for my trucks and other customers. So I'm not itemizing your fucking bill and giving you receipts, okay? That's shit for the birds. It costs me time that I don't get paid for, and you're not going to pay me for. And unfortunately, even if I had something, I mean, I might like that to know, well, what did you pay for that part? Then they don't want me to mark the part up. They want me to sit in front of my desk, order their parts, check where their parts are at, make sure they're the right parts, and then install the fucking part. And they don't want me to make a 20% markup. And especially if there's something wrong with the part and I got to send it back. Hey, that's my time. I want to get paid for it. So, Allstate, that's a big fungu. And then getting back to what I was saying, that's what it's... Little shops are disappearing. People are starting to depend on little guys like me. Hopefully this breeze you can hear me. People are starting to depend on little guys like me, okay, because they know they can get their car back and get the hell in and out of it. And I appreciate the work, but I'm only a seasonal business. In the winter, I like to go in a shop where it's warm, take off my coat and go to work. Well, those bigger places where you could get nice and cozy, do your job just like you're doing it in the summertime, those places aren't around. And then there's times I get snowed in here, which is why I need to get a plow truck, which that's what we're going to do to Tara. She's basically going to get too bad for the road. I'm going to have to get something else. But I wanted to cover what this thing looks like, so take a good look at it. I got to drop the shock absorbers. As I said, we already dropped the tank. I'm going to take the shocks out and get busy. Another thing I wanted to point out is these holes that are in these frame supports. Once you take the bed off and seal all those holes up, because they're up top here. There's one on this member. There's a couple on that one. That's all full of holes. And that's the reason why they rot out, is because that salt and that brine that they put on the roads here in Pennsylvania gets all over and it gets inside. So that's why this frame looks grayed. And I'm not a big fan of spraying. I'm going to power wash this. I'm not a big fan of spraying water over a caustic substance. But unfortunately, in your springtime affairs, you're going to have to do that. And this frame, I'm starting to rely on Raptor liner. I know this wind's picking up. That's Raptor liner with a high yield epoxy over it. And believe me, you cannot beat it. It's you can shoot bullets at that with that high yield over it. There's a guy, I think it's Project Farm. He did a pretty intelligent video on the bed liners, and your two main bed liners, and they're made by the same company, the same people. Rust-Oleum has two divisions. They have their Polish division over in Poland and Czechoslovakia, and then they have a division out here. I believe it's in Mechlin, Ohio. I've actually been to the plant, and that was by accident. I got lost, got off the interstate, and actually I saw Rust-Oleum Corporation. I saw a huge manufacturing plant, but they have two sides to their company, and Rust-Oleum controls most of the commercial grade and water-based grade homeowner type of material. They control it. So Herculiner and Raptor liner are their top of the line feature darling products, and they do work. So getting back to body shops and businesses, I went to a couple places because I'm getting nervous. I like to work during the winter, and I like to be in a warm shop. I don't want to be working outside like I do here at times, because the only thing I work on here in the winter is my shit. Believe me, I'm not touching anybody's stuff especially if a storm comes in and you got it all torn apart and they want it all back together and you got to shovel the project out. You're SOL. That's why I don't do it to people. But in the same token, when they tell me they can't pay me what I'm worth because they know I'm a skilled, or highly skilled, especially body, frame, different things like that, we can't pay you what you're worth. Well, think about who the hell is working on your car. And as I said, what the insurance companies went to, hiring cheap, incompetent people. And they use COVID as their excuse. COVID's long over. COVID's passé. As a matter of fact, it's a proven BS story. You get sick, you get over it. You take the vaccination, you're probably going to get dead. I don't know what the hell's wrong with the world, but I know my job, I know my tech, and if I work for you, I want to get paid for what I know, not for what you think you want to pay me. And unfortunately, that's the way it is here in the Rust Belt here. This is another Democratic-run shithole of a state. Shapiro, Fetterman, you're a fucking gangster. You never held a job in your life. I don't think you know what a job is. I don't think you know the discipline, even of people like me, soldiers of fortune. We get up, we go to work every day, there is work. I don't think you ever, I don't think you get out of bed till noontime, guys like you, and Shapiro. That's why half the time when you call your politicians with a concern, you can't get a hold of them, because you're garbage. Okay? Doug Mastriano, his staff, they respond to me, they talk to me. They have to call me on private phones because their offices are bugged. That's how they communicate with their constituents or potential future constituents. They call me on secret squirrel disposable phones because of... I wouldn't fear Fetterman. I wouldn't fear the FBI. The FBI should fear guys like me because we're the law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, and we're not going to take the abuse. And I don't know why a politician, a state senator, would be under that much of a threat and tell me they got to call me on their secret squirrel phones. There's something wrong with this country, and they got to get rid of the communists. Okay? And unfortunately, the only thing that's ever gotten rid of communists, you know what that is. And I've walked on those mass graves of those dead people that the communism has caused. I want you to take a good long thought about that, and then I want to show you how I get with this project, because it's going to take me a while. Not to mention, I got to get a bed. I didn't even show you the bed I took off of her. Holy cow. You got to see this carnage. I think I showed you the fuel tank. Thank God I was a child of the 60s when they had pull toys. I slid this tank all the way over here by the hose, because we had pull toys when I was a kid. I don't think children these days know what a pull toy is. Look at that carnage. Now that's something else. Okay, that's my video. That bed was pretty bad too. It wasn't near what that is, but that bed had its share of rot and rust. And I just ordered these panels along with a starter this month. I don't know how I'm paying bills. I really don't. And then I've got a fix in there. I'm going to turn you guys around. Both sides are like that. But that's an easy fix. So when you guys think about fixing rust, I want you people, you younger guys that are living at home with your parents that want to do a truck like this, and mom and dad they're apprehensive, but they say, little Johnny, go ahead. We're going to help you out. There's nails, there's different things that come in these beds, and there's all kinds of booby traps. You clean up. Half the job, half the time I spend doing these jobs is cleaning up the carnage that they make here, that it's not under my feet that somebody breaks their freaking neck. Not to mention all these air hoses and the water hose and everything else I have out here. You guys be a little concerned with your parents' safety, that you don't let a booby trap, that when they get out of their car in the dark or they come in the garage in the dark, that they break their neck. Okay, because it's easy to do with older people. Their minds are focused on other things, not necessarily what you left all over the place. Okay, at least I know at my age, when some of my friends and I are here, and they've tend to abandon things when it comes to cleanup time. I got to go home to mama, and I'm stuck here cleaning shit up. That's why I don't invite too many people here no more to do projects, because they don't share that same ethic. I'm out here sometimes till after dark, till I eat. It's 11, 12 o'clock midnight, and I got to get up and do it all over again. And that's what I told you about Fetterman and those boobs. They don't understand about guys like me. They're criminals, and they're no friend of yours. Vote Republican this November. Vote Republican, and in 2024, vote for Trump.